Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry, and today I'm going to talk to you about another film that's underrated. And I've noticed online it's been somewhat having a resurgence a little bit. And this is Ang Lee's Hulk, released in 2003, starring Eric Bana, Josh Lucas, Jennifer Connelly, and Sam Elliott. Exploring the origins of Bruce Banner and his descendants into the Hulk figure. And I remember actually seeing this. It was actually a big theater. There was a lot of people seeing this back in 2003. And I thought it was amazing. Over the years and over rumors surrounding the film, after I saw it, and for whatever reason, it got a bad rap. They claimed that the visual effects was just not up to par, which I disagree. I think at that time, the visual effects for that movie was phenomenal, and I also believe they said there was not enough action. It was too talky. And I rewatched this movie yesterday, and comparing it to other Hulk films, and just superhero films in general of modern times, I've come to realize there is a I miss movies like the Hulk when it comes to big extravaganza like movies, like but in a serious way. Was this movie like overly serious? I mean, it focused on trauma, the father figure that father and son relationships, and suppressed trauma memory, suppressed memories. It deals with so many different things that there's really no time for with the MCU. And I really dug the Hulk in this. I think this was the better interpretation of the character Hulk. And then Banner, actually, and I really paid attention to the dialogue. The film had a balance of like exploring plot, but exploring more on character. And this is more of a character-driven film, exploring Bruce Banner's suppress his story, and in trying to basically unleash his suppressed emotions to, and it's a metaphor. And I actually like that the film metaphors Bruce Banner and in the Hulk as like releasing emotion, releasing anger, releasing your true intentions. And I actually really liked that Ang Lee took an art house approach and was able to balance art house and in mainstream movies, which rarely happens. And when it does, to me, it resonates me the most, because you can balance art and action, big budget extravaganza. You can. It's like when you do it, not everybody really is on board with it, but it's like years later it gets some sort of following. Blade Runner 2049 does that. I think Mad Max Fury Road does it, but I think I think Mad Max is a lucky film to do that and was successful. But rarely do you get a artsy kind of movie brought to mainstream audiences. I thought Eric Bana was great. I actually liked that they kept his character kind of suppressed of emotions, and it really dives into his relationship with Betty Ross. And you see that this guy cannot and will not, or hasn't found a good way to deal with his trauma, or in a healthy way. And you see it you see him suppressing it, but you see that anger slowly building up like a volcano, and you see it kind of just, ooh man, I remember, and when I rewatched this, I suddenly got chills on certain scenes where you're seeing him kind of just explode to be this kind of this version of the Hulk where he becomes like some sort of like monster. Beauty and the Beast, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of vibes you get. And I actually like that the film didn't try to force any humor or jokes, or like it gets tiresome. But for here, if you really pay attention to the dialogue, you're really, and I mean really pay attention to the dialogue, not just with story but with character, to understanding that Bruce Banner is in a form of awakening, that when he becomes the Hulk, or when he goes through this gamma radiated machine that enhances his transformation to become the Hulk, you see him accepting of expressing himself more, but he only does that through the Hulk. I actually like the design of the Hulk, and I like that that he gets better. Supposedly that's supposed to happen with the Hulk. When he gets angrier, he gets bigger and more powerful, and they don't do that in the new in the MCU. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they. Maybe they felt the Hulk would have been too powerful of a foe, and then I can kind of see why. But I felt like it's not doing the character justice, and I haven't. Well, I'm like a big comic book fan guy, but I mean I like learning about it. So I'm sure there's more to the story of the Hulk, and that everybody else knows about it. And I actually like that the film tried to be more than just your average superhero jokes. I just like that it tried to be something more than just your average superhero film. It tried to be something more, and the action scenes in there are outstanding. Like there's moments in here that gave me chills when Bruce Banner slowly turns into the Hulk. I got chills. It actually became kind of scary. Certain action scenes where he turns into the Hulk and escapes, like when he escapes that military facility, I got chills from it. I got chills from the presence from the Hulk. I don't get that from the MCU. Certain scenes in here were quite amazing. And I guess the villain was an issue. I guess they didn't think the main antagonist was a Hulk villain, but I did a little research, and he is a Hulk villain, the absorbing man. Maybe not a memorable one. There's so many layers to this film, and I like it. Reminds me kind of like anime, where it balanced psychological vibes to it into a personal story of handling your emotions better, your suppressed emotions, handling trauma. You don't get movies like this anymore. I actually miss when they try to tell that epic story, they try to be personal and very, I mean, it could be a fun film. I still had fun watching this film, seeing the Hulk do his thing and root for the guy. And like, I got chills. I don't get chills from a lot of the current superhero movies. It didn't feel personal. You feel like you like the characters, but nothing personal. And maybe there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I think it just resonates more for really understanding the characters' personal struggles of what they're going through and seeing their journey trying to overcome it. And I also love how this film was edited. It edited to like, it made it feel like it was a comic book film. It felt like a comic book movie. I like the crazy, unique edit that Ang Lee chose to do with this film. And I wish actually quite a bit of comic book movies would try to intimidate that vibe. I actually felt like this was a comic book movie. Like, I was like reading it. I love it. Like, I love how they chose it. I love the editing style of this movie. That was another big standout. Like, I don't think the editing gets enough credit. I thought, it felt like kind of poetic, but I also felt like this was a comic book film. Like, I think Spider-Man would benefit from actually, for like the editing style of this film. I think Spider-Man would heavily benefit from adapting this kind of editing choice that Ang Lee's Hulk has done. I remember I was watching Robot Chicken and they did a parody of Hulk and they talked about Hulk's movie, and I guess apparently Seth Green doesn't like it. I love it. This movie was phenomenal. I would like for comic book movies to try to go back to serious approaches like this. I mean, I'm all praising for Zack Snyder for trying to retain some sort of old-fashioned extravaganza, like epic storytelling, like Ang Lee's Hulk. With the Justice League movie and then Man of Steel. So I respect what he's trying to do with that. But Ang Lee's Hulk film is severely underrated. And next year, when it hits 2013, it would officially be 20 years since that film has come out. I've actually noticed sort of somewhat of a resurgence. I just rewatched the film again yesterday on Tubi. Should really check it out. You should really check this out and spread the word that this film needs to be reanalyzed and, revisited, because it's amazing. Ang Lee's Hulk. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know what you thought about it, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie and what is your favorite underrated superhero movie.